like, subscribe, and leave a comment. So here's your review of AEW Rampage and AEW Dynamite, week commencing the 6th of October if you are in England. So it starts with Penta versus Commander versus Vikingo in a really good match. Go and watch it. There was flips, there was high spots, there was everything that you want, but in the end Penta gets the victory. Then we had Sanjay Dutt, Jeff Jarrett basically calling out Eddie Kingston for not joining them and not taking their side, basically. Then we have the Gun Club versus Christopher Daniels and Matt Sydal in a great match, but in the end the Guns got the victory. Then we have Sky Blue versus Marina. Sky Blue still has that painting around her eye, meaning she's turning a bit dark. Sky Blue gets the victory. She's on a bit of a roll. Give her a title. Then we have in the main event of Rampage, it's Trent versus Danny Garcia in a great match, but in the end Danny Garcia gets the victory. Then he calls out MJF. That's a bit left field. Said he wants a title shot. So then we go to Dynamite now. So Dynamite starts with MJF basically calling out Jay White, says it ain't going to happen again. He got pinned once, but it's not going to happen again. Then he calls Adam Cole. Adam Cole basically said the same thing he said before. You need to team up with Joe or it's not going to get good for you. Then then Danny Garcia turns up and he says to Danny Garcia, he's the future of the sport. Get away from these sports entertainers. I don't know if I did a good impression there. And then Roderick Strong turns up and just ruins everything, basically. Then we go into MJF versus Danny Garcia for the AEW world title, the Triple B, as he calls it, in a great match. Go and watch it. Really good match. It was actually a really good technical match because MJF said he wants to see the wrestler, not the sports entertainer. And then MJF gets the victory. Then we have Darby and Sting versus the Outrunners in a really good match, but Sting gets the victory by the Scorpion Deathlock. Then we have whose house? Say it. Swerve's house. Swerve Strickland versus Penta in a damn good match. This was a pay-per-view level match. Go and watch it if you haven't seen it, and I mean that. Go and watch this match. But in the end, whose house wins? Swerve get the victory, and then Hangman Adam Page comes out and he goes after Swerve for obviously entering his house while his baby was sleeping. Then we have Chris Jericho and the Young Bucks and Kenny Omega sort of going back and forth, and the Young Bucks have now calling out for a match with Kenny Omega and Chris Jericho at Full Gear, and they accept. Then we have Samoa Joe versus Keith Lee for the TNT Championship in a big man match. It was a great match. Go and watch it if you haven't seen it. But in the end, Samoa Joe gets the victory. And then after that, he actually vacates the TNT title and said it's coming for the AEW title. So it's coming for MJF really badly. So MJF, watch your back. Then we have Orange Cassidy calling out Moxley, saying he's coming for Moxley and Moxley is not taking the title and he needs to beat Moxley to solidify his title reign. Then we have the Guns versus some guys. The Guns get the victory. Then we have John Moxley calling out Orange Cassidy, basically going right back at him, said he's coming for him too, and he's just going to squash him. Then we have Julia Hart versus Red Velvet. I think her name's Red Velvet, in a good match. I don't know where she's been. Velvet's been injured. I'm not sure where she's been, but she's back on Dynamite and she loses. Then in the main event of the evening, it's Jay White versus Mike Briscoe. I think there was a bit of interference because obviously the Gun Club are there. The Bullet Club are there. It's probably interference. But yeah, then it ends with Jay White getting the victory because the winner of this then faces MJF at Full Gear and Jay White gets the victory. So that is your review of AEW Rampage and Dynamite. Leave a comment.